Okay, thank you.
I have a question.
Commissioner
Madam Mayor.
Thomas.
Thank you so much. I'm back at the fines and fortitudes. And similar question, because I know we had some heavy fines this year, and anticipating that some of those fines will come in for next year. And even though it's 21,000, do you believe that we shouldn't put it back to where it is this year? But are you projecting, because what you're currently seeing is less than what we received this year?
And we can absolutely do that. We can actually, as I said, we have 2 more months remaining in the fiscal year. So if we see that trending up, we can definitely say, hey, let's add back the 21,000, or even let's go 25 or 30,000 based on what we see. We're just being conservative right here.
Okay.
Ms. Susan had another.
Madam Mayor,
Okay, hold just a moment, Commissioner Harrison, thank you.
sorry.
Ms. Susan, at another time, can you give us a breakdown of everything that's under fines and forfeitures, please?
By all means.
Thank you so much. Commissioner Harrison?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Apologies. Yeah, that was going to kind of be my question, but also I think to kind of what my colleague was asking was, when you say you're expecting a lower revenue for that category, what is making you expecting it to be lower? Like what is signaling to you that that is going to be lower this time? Which of those categories within that categories are we projected to see a lower, and why? Like, what's signaling to you that it's going to be a little lower this time around?
So within that category, we also have traffic court fines, and I think we estimated that at 70,000 budgeted, and those are coming in a little lower. I don't know what traffic will be settled, court fines will be settled, and those come from the county to us. What I have seen increase would be like your city liens. We had that big settlement that was back in 2024, where we got that initial big lump sum for the Oreo, I want to think estate something. However, we are receiving monthly, and that was anticipated in the FY 2025 budget already. So some of the small ones that may be going down is those things, Commissioner Harrison, like the municipal citation or the county court fines. Sometimes it comes in higher, sometimes it comes in lower.
And I think that breakdown, Ms. Susan, will help us to have a better picture.
By all means.
Commissioner Harrison?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. That's all.
All right, thank you.
Okay, the next slide is just a graphic demonstration of how the revenue for the general fund is broken down. We are proposing the millage rate at 8.6, and we're estimated to collect 32.7 million. So this is just another graphic way of showing how the ad valorem comes in, how your revenue comes in. Ad valorem is at 43.2%. We see our sales and use at 16%, franchise represent 11%, utility 12%, license, the same license and permit, they only represent a very small portion of the overall revenue that comes into the general fund. The license and permit, as well as the fines and forfeiture, they only represent like a 1-point-something%. So yes, sometimes those revenue come in, sometimes they do not. But just so that you can see that the ad valorem, which is our biggest revenue, that represents a little over 43% of this general fund revenue.
Susan, what would be the projected difference in revenue between the 8.6% and the rollback rate?
So I have a slide on that,
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Madam Mayor.
Thank you.
And as a matter of fact, it's the next slide up. So millage rate option. So I just want to make sure that we look at that highlighted blue section, FY26. We are recommending the budget millage stay at 8.6 mils, no change, based on the total general fund revenue that it will receive for FY26 will be $32.7 million. Okay, as you go to the next column, we gave you another option. So say, for instance, you want to lower the millage to 8.5. So that will bring in $32.6 million. And we gave a second option. If we lower the millage further to 8.45, it will bring in $32.5 million. The last column represents the rollback. We should always talk about the rollback because the rollback rate represents the same revenue that we approximately receive in the prior year for ad valorem. That's exactly what you will do if you utilize the rollback rate. I want to go to the second line where we talk about the total general fund expenditure, and I will go on further in the presentation detailing the department and how they come out with those expenditure. Right now, within this budget, the revenue is sitting at estimated 32.7 million, and right now our general fund expenditure, based on the requests from the department, the priorities of the commission, that is sitting at $34.6 million. So we have an unbalanced budget, a shortfall of almost $2 million if we utilize the 8.6. Again, we still have 2 more months to go. We look at those revenues and say, hey, you know what? As we just discussed, we can increase some of those revenue, or we can decrease some of our expenditure. But by the time we get to September, our first reading, we will have a balanced budget. This is just a workshop. On the second column, if we utilize the 8.5 millage rate, the total expenditure in the general fund, remember that continues based on the priority and what the departments have provided to the city manager. So that shortfall will be a little over $2 million. So the lower we go in the millage rate, the higher the gap in the revenue and expenditure. So if we utilize the rollback rate, we'll have a shortfall of almost $3 million, 2.8. So that's the reason why we recommend keeping our millage at the 8.6.
I'm just doing it. Ms. Commissioner Thomas.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Ms. Susan, I am looking at the option B with the 32 mil dropping down. That would include, that's the revenue coming in, but yet still our expenditure, it remains the same high for the 2026. That's where we have that difference there
Correct.
of
2.0.
a loss.
Yes.
Okay.
Keep in mind, this workshop, the budget is not balanced as yet.
Understand.
Okay.
Understand. This is all projection. Thank you.
I mean, Susan, for fiscal year 2026, the deficit, projected deficit is 1,919,674, and column B, option B, at 8.5%, the deficit, projected deficit is 2,084,451. Am I correct in calculating that that is only almost $165,000 difference?
Yeah, whatever that difference is, it's the difference, because remember, the department expenditure is staying, and yes, it's approximately, my staff could calculate that, they have a calculator. If you can double check that for the mayor, just to make sure her number, you do the 2.084451 minus the 19, and see what that difference is, so that we can answer the mayor questions.
Thank you, ma'am.
Madam Mayor, Commissioner Harrison has a question.
Yes. Commissioner Harrison.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Just a heads up to acting city manager and staff. When the question is being asked about a particular slide, I'm not seeing that slide that the question is referring to from here on Zoom. So Commissioner Thomas is referring to something on a previous slide, but I'm seeing the next slide, so I'm not really following the question visually. If the question is being asked in the previous slide, to also reverse the slide on Zoom as well. Thank you.
So that was my errors, Commissioner. My hand just it moved too fast. Sorry, and
No problem, no problem.
continue to
Thank you.
speak. Well noted.
Was that calculation made?
Yeah, 164,777.
Thank you, so yeah, thank you. Thank you, yes.
Okay, sure. So I can move to the next slide now, Commissioner Harrison. So this next slide, I will do a property tax and millage summary. At the first line, we're talking about our operating millage, and that is what is used and what I just spoke about. That's what's used for the general fund. Okay, and that millage is at 8.6 as we adopted in 2025. We are asking for the same millage to move forward, zero change. We do have a debt service millage, which is 0.491. That is in the debt service fund. That has nothing to do with the general fund. That mill is once we collect those revenue, it pays the debt off for that particular, it pays the GO bond debt from 2005. So for a total overall millage of the city operating as well as debt at a 9.0910, that is no change from the prior year. The table below just give a explanation of what 1 mil represents. Just for edification, I wouldn't go through that unless there's some questions pertaining to that. We took it down by 0.25 each one. So 1 mil represent gross 2 million, 0.75 mil represent 1.6. So we kind of broke it all the way down to a 0.1, what it represents as far as revenue to the city.
Yes, ma'am.
Next slide. This is like my favorite slide of all. Sorry. I love to show the residents just what a dollar represents. So when the resident receive their trim notice, which they will receive soon in the mail, that trim is a combination of many millage or rates that the resident has to pay for. So the city of Lauderdale Lakes, 36.9% of that $1. Okay, Broward schools represent another 31.3%. Broward County represents 23% of your dollar, and you'll see the North Broward Hospital District, you'll see the Children Council, and you also see the South Florida Water Management, and then all inland, all of those things. So your dollar, each resident's dollar of their tax bill that they pay to Broward County, this is how it's broken up. So the whole dollar does not belong to the city of Lauderdale Lakes. Only 36, almost 37 cents does come into the city of Lauderdale Lakes. And the rest of your dollar goes to these different agencies.
Ms. Susan, did you say what FIND is, FIND at the bottom right?
We can find out exactly what that acronym means. I think it's something like Inland Development, but we can find out what FIND means.
Okay, thank you.
Florida Inland, something. But we'll get the correct. I don't want to assume.
Thank you.
We are going to go to the general fund revenue detail right now. As we spoke about the 34.6 million budget that you saw, all of the department, how they propose these expenditure. So the budget process, I want to make sure I emphasize that. The budget process is ongoing. This is not the final number. We may end up at the 32.7 million and say, hey, department, we have to cut 2 point whatever out of this just so that, because you know what? We can't raise this revenue any further. Or we are not going to use appropriation from somewhere else. So currently we know police and fire, which is our public safety, they are our biggest spender within our budget at 27.5%. Okay, so we have community police and we have our public engagement advisory board. We even have some social media there. But our core services, like our public work, public safety, or code enforcement, or recreation, we must have all of those programs. So this graph just had a representation of definitely how those are broken down. let's see. And if there are any question on the graph, I can go over that. I'm going to move to the much more detail with the lines. So we have our departments.
Ms. Susan, Madam
11
Mayor.
departments. Yes.
Yeah, on your graph, I'm seeing developmental services, 2.6, but it's not on the, below. Is that to include code compliance? Is that what I'm to assume?
Yeah, development services, code compliance is within that department.
Okay, so that's, all right. Because I see public works on there,
You see
recreation.
public works, you see the within development service code compliance is inside, the code officers are in that department.
Thank you, Madam.
So at the next slide, these are our 11 departments, the mayor and commission, city attorney, city managers, development services, which include code enforcement, our clerk, financial services, human resources, parks and human services, public works, EMS, and police services. So there's a comparison with the 2025 budget and the preliminary 2026 budget. So based on the department requests, and they have met with the city manager, acting city manager, and the financial services department. They went over their requests, their justification. We sat down, so she's aware of that. We are bringing this to you now. The slight change within the mayor and commission was only $538. That's not much. The city attorney, we increased that budget by $133. And because right now, as we budget in 2025, we saw that some litigation cases that he's working on and the expenditure that is coming in, we want to make sure we include some of those. We want to increase his budget a little to compensate for that. City manager's office, 152. Development service, only slight increase of $43K. The city clerk, nothing to speak of, less than $1,000, as well as financial services, less than $1,000. Human resources, 127, because we want to implement some program. We want to do the wellness. We want to do the survey, the compensation survey or study, whatever. So that is included in the budget. That's why you're seeing some of these courses increase. Parks and human services increase. Public works increase. The major increase, as you can see, represents the police and the fire. And because those are contractual on the outside, they have given us their consideration. We have not sat down yet to negotiate that with the city manager, the attorney, financial services. So that may come down, but this is based on what they have presented as of this point in time. So that's what's included in the budget.
Madam Mayor, Commissioner Harrison.
Commissioner Harrison?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Susan, for, again, the presentation. Is there a way we can get this slide right here to reflect the increase in percentages?
Oh,
And
absolutely.
the reason why I say that is because 911,000 may seem a lot for police services, but relative in the millions, it may not reflect a bigger percentage increase than other categories.
Absolutely.
So,
We can
yes, ma'am.
definitely do that. And I think at the front we show when we were talking about what is included or the challenges, I thought I mentioned the increase of the police and fire. Fire services went up approximately 7.9 based on the consideration, which is reflected in that 911, and the fire went up by 4.9%. But absolutely, we can add that percentage to the slides so you can absolutely see that. Not a problem, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Quite welcome.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Well, that was essentially my question as well, because I'm looking at increase in human services and parks. So percent-wise, how much, that increase has gone to?
Not a problem.
Thank you.
Continue, Ms. Susan. Ms. Ivory.
Sure. On the next page, the next slide, we have the City Advisory Board, their requests, what we'd like to increase that up to, as well as the general administration and our debt service. So the major decrease right there, that 8.3 million, 8.4 million general administration, keep in mind in FY 2025, that's where the ARPA money was. So again, for 2026, we are not expecting any of the ARPA. We want to spend all of that down. And they are on track to spend it all down, so there will be very little or zero to go over in 2026. So that's why you see that big reduction there.
You're saying we're going to expend those funds down by September 30.
Oh yeah, they're on track to do that. There are a lot of projects. So discussion right now, I'm going to go into some of the program modification that is within this budget that the departments are asking for. Keep in mind the program modification, we don't know if we will accept this or not, if the city manager will accept. So we are just including it for information, and we may decide to not fund any of these, or we may decide to actually fund it. However, the numbers are not within that 34 million that you saw for expenditure. Once we get approval and you say, yes, go ahead, maybe I should discuss with the commission, then those will be then added in, and then we will see what the true operating budget for FY 2026 will be. We're asking for, the clerk office is asking for an admin coordinator. The city manager's office is looking, and the engineering, construction, management, they're looking for a construction inspector manager.
Before you turn the page,
Yeah.
Mrs.
Oh, sure. Let's go back.
Commissioner Thomas.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. Ms. Susan, I know that last year you were not here, but if I'm not mistaken, in the budget was a manager, inspector slash manager for new construction and all that. Is that to be in this 2026 budget as well?
So I'm sure if the HR or the city manager can speak if that was approved last year, although it may have been presented, maybe it was not approved. And I'm not sure who can answer that particular question. Sure, we have our engineering here to answer the question.
Mr. Nasir.
Good afternoon, Honorable Mayor and the City Commission and audience. Yes, it was approved for contract as a consultant. That was funded through ARPA, and the agreement expired by January this year. So we extended that agreement up to September 30 with the plan that we will actually take him as a regular employee by the next fiscal year. That's why you see this program modification.
Yeah, so, thank you, Madam Mayor. So in essence, what you're saying is that what we currently have within the complement, it's going to be extended for the construction.
Yes.
Okay. No, thank you.
This is, I do have a question on the same page, the administrative coordinator for the city clerk's office and the description of the duties outlined. The city clerk, the deputy city clerk, and I'm not sure what Ms. Kenesha's position is. You want to,
I will let the acting ACM or the acting city clerk speak on that request.
Go ahead, Madam Mayor.
Bob.
Kenesha's position is Records and Administrative Specialist. So we're looking for administrative coordinator because the load has gotten somewhat bigger for our department. So we're seeking some assistance with the administrative coordinator request.
and the deputy city clerk?
That still remains my position, and I'm currently acting in the role of the city clerk.
Are you performing any of the duties that are outlined and the administrative coordinator?
Yes, Madam Mayor.
All right, I'll follow up on those. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Liburd.
I can move.
Yes.
Madam Mayor.
Commissioner Harrison.
Thank you. Well, this question is for these positions as well as the ones on the next slide you're about to go into. But are there degree requirements also something that we vote and agree on, or after we vote on these in terms of the budget, does HR then fine tune the degree requirements? Do you guys have the suggested degree requirements for these positions in place now?
So I'm getting a response from the acting HR director, and she said once it's approved, then they will fine tune that degree requirement, correct?
But isn't that sort of like putting the cart before the horse?
Yeah. And Madam Mayor, I asked because we see the salary and it kind of get me thinking what degree kind of aligns with said salary we're talking about, you know?
So you know what, we can definitely have job description presented to the commission on these requests for you, so you can take a look at that. Would that be a suggestion, or what do you suggest, acting HR director?
I would suggest in addition to job description, eligibility requirements, including experience and education.
Yes, we can provide that.
Madam Mayor? Well, the construction inspector manager should already be on the books as to his or her qualification, because this is an extension.
But based on what, if I understood, Commissioner Thomas, if I understood that position in FY '25 when Nazir is here was a contract position, and now you're making it a permanent position. Just want to clarify that.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Ms. Susan.
Okay, good.
Ms. Liburd.
Thank you. And you know, I really do. Let me just comment. I really love when I'm called Miss Liburd or Miss Gooding. Just honor me in doing that. I really like that rather than Susan. Thank you, commissioners.
Mayor.
Let's make sure we get on the right page. Let's make sure. Just want to make sure. I'm going to double check mine. So
What would be helpful also if the pages would be numbered, Ms. Susan, next time?
I do.
Thank you.
So I'm actually on the second one that has the Business Subsidy Assistant Program, and that is a new program that the Economic Development is hoping to roll out. The Business Development Coordinator, that is a position that they are requesting, but the Commercial Exterior Interior Improvement Program, as I read the description, that will be an expansion of something that's currently on the city books. Any questions regarding this particular page?
Need a little time to read. I'm sure that when we come back again, that we'll have more questions.
All right, great.
Ms.
Madam Mayor, Commissioner Harrison.
Commissioner Harrison.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yes, Ms. Gooding, I have an example, and with the commercial exterior slash, no, sorry, with the, give me a second here, I missed it. Okay, I answered my own question. I missed what I was reading. You can go ahead. Sorry, Ms. Gooding.
Okay, great, thank you. So I'll go to the next slide.
Liburd.
Any other commission? No? Okay, thanks. So the next slide shows marketing consultation program, and I think that program is currently in existence, and they're just asking for expansion, more funding into that program. After I've read the program, it seems like a very good program for the businesses and the success rate that they have described here, and they just want to expand funding to that particular program.
So they're would like to bring the LL Beans program back because we previously had it. We no longer have it.
You want to hear some discussion on that? By all means, come on up.
Ms. Fielka.
Yes, good afternoon, Madam Mayor, Commissioner Thomas, Acting City Manager, and Deputy Clerk. For the record, my name is Vielka Buchanan. I'm the Economic Development Manager. And yes, LLB was launched in January of 2023. And it stands for Lauderdale Lakes Business Elevation and Marketing Support. It's a 12-week program. That program ended in July of 2023. And just to give you some background of the program, basically is offered to all businesses in Lauderdale Lakes, and they offer marketing education, one-on-one marketing technical assistance. They actually help the business owner with a marketing plan and help them also with peer networking. At the time, we had 15 business applied, 10 business owners actually enroll, and 8 businesses were graduating. So we're looking forward to bring the program back. We will proceed with the same process we did through the bidding process and hiring a consultant to assist us with this program.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Ms. Vielka. I do appreciate that. I note that the last time we approved this particular marketing program, it was 100,000 we approved it for. Now I'm looking at 60,000. What's the difference? Is the quality or what they're receiving going to be different? What are we looking at? Why there's a decrease now?
Thank you, Commissioner. Madam Mayor? So, yes, so actually the city entered into an agreement with the consultant and the program that cost $97,050. We allocated 100,000, but we only used 97,000 and change. So that at that time we had program branding, and we also had project management. For now, the program branding, we don't need to do that anymore because we already branded. It's already a brand. LL Bean is a brand. So that cost definitely reduce it. And plus some of the work that the project manager will be doing also will be reduced. So that's why you see that amount of 60,000.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I attended even when they, towards the end, and I was very pleased. But I would love to hear the follow-up of even some of those businesses that were in the program, how well they're doing now, and I know that's an off thing, but I would love to hear how well they're doing. I'm seeing the 60,000, and I know decrease which is good, but yet still, what are they missing? Why will they be missing from the first? You did explain it well, but it is almost like you're decreasing something, but will they be getting the full amount of similar to the first set that?
Madam Mayor, yes. So definitely we did not touch anything that has to do with technical assistance, marketing tools, which is part of the program, actually the core of the program, the one-on-one business, the educational, the virtual sessions, and also the marketing tools that they're going to get, like guidance on how to build their own marketing plan, how to do the 10-minute elevator speech that they did the last time, a pitch competition. They're going to get the same thing regarding the tools. What is reduced is all the costs that had to do with the branding of the program. And regarding, Commissioner, also, we did do a follow-up regarding the businesses that participated. As I stated before, the program ended in July, and I went back in December 2023 and January to see how they were doing. And what I can just give you a high level what I got, the results I got. 88% of the 8 participants that actually graduated, they stated that the program met their expectations and they experienced increased revenue after the program was completed. 75% of the participants benefited from the marketing tools obtained and were satisfied with the materials used, duration of the program, and content of the virtual session and course outline. And 63% of those that actually graduated said they were satisfied with the overall impact growth, out of which 38 were able to hire 1 to 2 employees.
Thank you very much.
Ms. Fielka, the program ended in 2023, in December of 2020,
No, it ended July
July of
2023.
2023. And you conducted your review in December of 2023, January 2020.
That's correct, Madam Mayor.
We're just about a year and a half, almost 2 years out. Has there been any follow-up to see the long-term impact? Because your review was conducted 6 months, 5, 6, 7 months after the program. Have we done any follow-up to see the long-term impact?
Not with all 8, no. Probably 1 or 2 that I had conversations with so far, they're doing well. But it definitely, before the end of this fiscal year, I can come back and give you that report from all 8.
I would like to see in a 2-year period where they are now.
Okay.
And what progress has been made.
Will do.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Commissioner Harrison did have his hand up.
Commissioner Harrison?
Yes, thank you. In regards to the program, the LL Beams, also a name of the businesses that went through them, if possible.
Can I,
Yes, Ms.
Madam
Fielka.
Mayor, can I read the names? Yes, I do. I have them right here. Thank you, Commissioner Harrison. The names of the participants that actually graduated is World Finance Group, Chitra's House of Elegance, My Bug Guy Pest Control, Smika Enterprise LLC, World Financial Group, Island Joyce Beverages, The Basement Hair Salon, and Golden Hogan Connections.
Commissioner Harrison?
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Fielka.
Thank you.
So I will continue with that same slide. We're asking for a budget and grant analyst in the Financial Services Department. Currently, as we continue to pursue new revenue sources, especially in grant, we definitely will make sure that we have a grant writer that comes on board. And the financial service, we also want a system analyst, and that will be housed in our IT division, because our IT realize that there are many areas within the city, and the requirement all over the city. So we want to make sure that we have a system analyst that will understand all of the system program that the city network has.
Ms. Susan?
Yes.
And it's just for an ongoing question. For all of the program modification requests that are being made that require new positions, we do have job descriptions and the same eligibility.
Yes, and we can provide that as was requested earlier.
Okay.
All of that will be.
I'm sorry, Ms. Liebert. I'm sorry. Continue, Ms. Liebert.
Thank you. Next page, I think we have the procurement specialist. We are requesting 1 employee there to assist there based on directive that I've heard from the commission, the dais. We are looking to do more RFPs. We need some more help there compared to a piggybacking. We want to make sure that we have the staff right there to address all of those upcoming as we do business with our vendors. And we just want to make sure that we have RFPs, RFQs, all of those things ready and in the library for when we require our services. Next, we're asking for a human resource business partner as we extend the wellness program to do our salary survey or salary reclassification. We're looking, currently we have 2 employees right there, which is the HR director and one other staff. So we're looking to add another staff there in that particular area, as well as a benefits specialist, someone that concentrates strictly on benefits. We know we either need to bring more benefits within the city and to understand the benefits, so as our employee come on board, they can explain all of those things to the new employees. So we're looking to add these 2 positions within the human resources department.
Ms. Liebert,
Yes.
for the human resources business partner, I'm sort of getting a different connotation in my mind about.
Of what a business partner is?
Yes.
I would definitely like to bring up the acting HR director to kind of expand on that for
All
you.
right. Thank you. Ms. Tarr.
Good afternoon, Madam Mayor, Commissioners, Acting City Manager, and Acting City Clerk. For the record, my name is Tara Williams. I'm the interim HR director. Through you, Madam Mayor, Commissioner Thomas, an HR business partner is the same as an HR generalist. Throughout the years, the organization SHRM has done some research, and they've decided that title, HR generalist, is now going out, and they're moving more towards business partners, where they're including HR to be a part of the business versus just a personnel department just pushing employees through. So they've done the research and noticed that it's more important to change the title to go more with a business partner, because they are part of the business. They play a business role.
I'm still not quite getting it.
So they still do the duties as a generalist. So they still do new hire orientation. They conduct benefits overviews. They do the termination of employees. So they still act as if they're a generalist role. They just changed the title to business partner.
I think the word partner is throwing me off.
It does. It's because they're a partner in the business
In which business?
with the organization.
Or in the city of Lauderdale Lakes?
Yes.
Is there another word we can change it to?
Yes.
All right, we'll think about that.
Yes.
We'll work on that. All right.
Madam Mayor.
Commissioner Thomas.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ms. Williams. Okay, I heard you mention that they do benefits as well, this generalist. So then why would you need a benefits specialist?
So a benefits specialist would not just, the benefits specialist would focus on the actual benefits for the organization. They would help with open enrollment. They would run with the wellness committee. They'll be on the wellness committee and help with launching different wellness events and having it more often. They will oversee the wellness dollars and make sure that we are in compliance with those figures as well.
Through you, Madam Mayor. Thank you so much. So would that leave out our current, would we leave out our current, the one who gets our benefits for the health insurance? Is that 2 separate things?
Through you, Madam Mayor, I believe, and I just want to make sure I'm answering the question appropriately. I believe what you're asking me is if that would alleviate our broker?
Right.
No, our broker shops for our insurance and ensures that we are that we have the appropriate insurance. The benefits specialist would do the day-to-day. As new employees come on board, they'll enroll them and ensure that they're enrolled. They'll educate our employees on the different benefits and that we withhold. And as employees change benefits, those items will go through the benefits specialist. So they will really focus on providing those concierge services to our employees.
Thank you. Madam Mayor. Thank you so much for answering that. So who currently does that?
Me. Oh, through you, Madam Mayor? Me.
The, the other position that we have in HR, what are their job duties?
The HR administrator, she handles the day-to-day, she helps handle the day-to-day operations as well. She oversees payroll, so she does payroll every biweekly. Any evals that come in, she processes those. She pays invoices. What else? It's a plethora of things that she handles on a day-to-day basis.
Madam Mayor, thank you so much. Instead of, because I know it's a lot, it's a two-man team right now, but if you could get that to us, the current, what is, so we can take a look at that and look at what you're proposing for us to approve. I would really appreciate that. I don't know about my
It'd be
colleagues.
very helpful.
Through you, Madam Mayor, I want to make sure I understand what you're requesting, Commissioner Thomas. You're requesting a list of duties that are happening between myself and the administrator?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you, Madam Mayor.
No? Okay. Thank you, Ms. Hunt.
Thank you.
Ms. Library.
Thank you. I'll move to the next slide. The next slide, we have a planning staff assistant, and that is being requested by the Development Services Department, as well as a bus driver from the Parks and Human Services Department. If you need further detail, I can have those come up and explain those.
A question about the bus driver. Are we now minus a bus driver, or we want to hire an additional bus driver?
So I'm going to have the director come up and address that.
Thank you, Ms. Erica.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Commissioners, Acting City Manager, Acting City Clerk. For the record, Erica Lockett, Director of Parks and Human Services. So, Madam Mayor and Commissioners, this title should actually be a bus driver / rec assistant. We currently don't have an in-house bus driver. Right now, we utilize Limousines of South Florida, who drives our senior transportation. So instead of we don't have a person in the Parks and Human Services Department with the CDL, so we wanted something within our department. So when we decide to go on trips or whatever with the seniors in the Alzheimer's Center, we will have our own in-house. When they're not driving the bus, they will do rec assistant activities. I'm sorry. They would do rec assistant activities.
And this person, Ms. Erica, would be required to have a CDL?
Correct.
Thank you, Ms. Erica. Ms. Library.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So those are our project program modification, and based on what you have requested, we'll make sure that you get those job description, eligibility, and all of those, okay? Thank you. So we're going to highlight the special revenue funds. And within our special revenue fund, we have the fire rescue fund, our grant fund, our law enforcement trust, and we also even have the code enforcement fund, Alzheimer care, transportation. So this is what makes up all of our special revenue funds. We've given you their 2025 numbers as well as their 2026 number that we are asking for. Fire rescue, we have a slight decrease within that fund of $190,000, as well as the impact. We haven't budgeted anything there, so as we finalize this budget, if we talk when we talk with the development services director, and she said, yes, Miss Susan, there's some impact fee coming in, then we will add that, but we don't anticipate anything at this point in time. Community Development Block Grant remains the same. Code enforcement, you see the 15,000. The arts in public place, and as well as Alzheimer care. Now, I know this fund, and I'm just speaking from history on this fund, the Human Health Services Director is also here. This is the fund that really needs some more revenues to come in, but unfortunately, the revenue we get, the grant from the area agencies and all of those. So we hopefully really need, if we have a grant writer, that maybe we can focus more on getting some of those Alzheimer care or foundation grant that could help this particular program, because it's a very good program within the city of Lauderdale Lakes. We're looking for some more revenue there. This fund has been trending down over the past couple of years, so we really want to, one of the things we'll have the grant writer focus on helping us with the Alzheimer care fund. And of course, we have the hurricane loss mitigation as well as our housing repair and assistance grant. These are all of the funds that falls within our special revenue fund budget.
Ms. Susan Arson, Ms. Liebert, Arts and Public Places Fund. Where are those funds from?
The general fund.
Is the general fund?
Yes, in the budget, we each and every year that is supplemented with funds from the general fund.
Have we used them?
2025, I know we have used it in the past, and we do use it as we do arts around the city. That you know what, if I may have an opinion, and as I said, I think this fund should really be increased from $25,000. But we can bring back justification because I would love to see more arts in the city. So this may be something, if it's the directive of the commission, this has been, I think it started with 10,000, and over the years it has gone up, so it's now at $25,000, so.
Madam Mayor,
Commissioner Thomas.
I would like to see code enforcement fund be increased. That's just my little thing, because there are a lot of code compliances that are going out to some of these homes that are senior homed, and the lawn is, not up to par and things like that. I think a lot home to eat, those older homes that need some support. And so that's just me. I could see that increasing, as well as the arts, but I could see that increasing.
Madam Mayor, if I may suggest something, as I spoke earlier on the Oriole Estate, that big litigation that we received, there's currently a monthly $17,000 that comes in, and that was based on a litigation for code enforcement, and we are going to receive that, I think, for the next, up until 2028, that's 17. I would recommend, or I would like to see maybe a portion of that revenue, if at the request of the commission, if you have a consensus, some of that revenue, instead of the general fund, some could go into the code enforcement as the request of the commissioner. That's only a suggestion or recommendation.
Thank you, Ms. Liebert.
Thank you.
Ms. Ball? No. Continue, Ms. Liebert.
Next slide. So the Capital and Enterprise Fund, our capital project fund, that we have a 5-year CIP plan for capital improvement fund. We have 10 million budgeted. We're hoping to have 11 million, and we do have the funding. My budget officer will highlight that particular, the CIP fund. We have our surtax transportation, no changes there. We have our stormwater. You'll see a decrease right there in that particular fund, and that is due to we just received a letter stating that the 2 resiliency grant that we received before that we had to do a match for in 2025, the state has told that we don't need to do any match, we can apply for grant, and that could fund it totally. So therefore, the match for 2026 and hopefully going forward will not be there. That's why the reduction in that particular fund. And we have our solid waste fund and as well as our building fund.
Madam Mayor, the building fund, what is that again? Could you?
That's the, we have Tangela over there, the development services, but those are all the fees that they receive for permits. If I'm speaking out of order, Ms. Tangela, you can come and give them a better rundown of what that building fund is. But those are all of the fees that we get from the building and the development and the redevelopment within the city.
Ms. Chandra.
Yes, through you, Madam Mayor. The building fund is a special revenue fund. It's set up and it's a requirement of the state that we have a special revenue fund for building department fees and inspections so that we can work kind of like a business in making sure that as we collect fees, we're also spending those fees on the building permitting costs to the city.
Thank you, Ms. Chandra. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Madam Mayor, so we will continue, and as I state, my budget officer is going to come up and highlight the CIP, but I want to highlight some key dates that is very important for our budget process. This is just a workshop, so we have met our trim requirement that is completed. The date says August 4th. We have already submitted all of the trim requirement to the state as well as to Broward County Property Appraiser's Office. That's why that says completed. September 10th, we will adopt our proposed budget. Our first budget hearing is scheduled for September 10th. September 15th, we will adopt the final special assessments. Those are the non-ad valorem that will also go on the tax bill. So we have that September 15th, and we also will certify the non-ad valorem rate to the state, county, and BCPA once we approve those final assessment. September 22nd, that will be our second budget hearing, and by that time the budget should be balanced and will be balanced so that we can commence operation October 1, 2025 in our new fiscal year. So these are some key dates regarding our budget process, and I wanted to just highlight those.
Thank you.
All right, so next you'll hear from my budget officer, Ms. Heidi Brock.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Liebert. Ms. Heidi.
Okay, good evening, Mayor, Commissioner, Acting City Manager, Deputy City Clerk, colleagues, guests. This presentation is going to provide an update on the fiscal year 2025 capital improvement program. Its purpose, of course, is to keep you informed on the status of the ongoing projects and to highlight those that will carry forward into fiscal year 2026. So as Ms. Liebert spoke about earlier, many of your commission priorities when we met with our Budget Advisory Committee, I have a member here, you spoke about canal stabilization, drainage, ponding, public safety, code enforcement, shoring up homes, minor home repair. So we have included a lot of that in the budget as well as our CIP projects. So so we will ensure that these programs, it aligns with our city's strategic objectives and financial planning efforts. So the slide before you is just a preliminary proposed capital improvement plan. Key note that the fiscal year 2025 projects, a lot of those projects, we will move into fiscal 2026 simply because a lot of those projects had multi-year phases. So, but we will highlight the projects that have been completed thus far. So we broke them down by department. We have Public Works. They house a lot of the projects. Public Works, the transportation surtax, Parks and Human Services, engineering. We did include our CRA. So we do have those projects broken down by the department. And on the next slide, you have the funding summary for the projects. So we have as I said, the ARPA lost revenue funding that we have set aside. We do plan to spend down all of those monies by September 30th, 2026, or by December 2026. We must spend all of it by December 2026. In a few cases, with the minor home repair program that we approved, where we moved the money from broadband, that has to be spent by September, because that's like a Title I program. There's a special requirement that that's spent by September 30th of 2026. And in all estimation, we feel that that will be done. We are not sending any money back. So we have, of course, grants, Broward County surtax. We do have some city debt, and if need be, we have some appropriated fund balance from stormwater and general fund. Of course, the CRA projects are funded by the CRA.
Ms. Heidi, do we have anywhere indicated the CIP projects that are under each department?
Yes, we will, yes, in the next slide. In the following slides, we will have,
I'm not looking for it, but okay.
we will go through each department. So you'll have, and then in your backup as we go forward, now mind you, even though you are on vacation, we are still working, and you will get all of the backup with the program, the CIP programs, and what, the descriptions and all of the departments. So yes.
Trust me, we're not on vacation.
You're on hiatus. Okay. So this slide, as I said, has the breakdown of the percentages of the projects by department. Stormwater general fund, CRA, all of the funding sources. So I'm just going to move into the project update, and I do have directors here if we have questions. We will break the projects out by the ones that are completed, the ones that are in progress, and I'll let you know what departments those are in.
Very good, thank you.
So for our completed project, for Canal Bank stabilization, which is one of your high priorities, we have been doing a lot of canal projects. Yes, Mr. Nasir is still here. So we completed canals 2 and 7 in the last fiscal year. And this year we have completed Canal 4, which is in the Oriole Estates. So this is a picture of the before, and this project was completed in April 2025. And this is one of the projects where we did get a grant. We were originally going to match that grant with stormwater funding, but they did amend, and we came before commission. They did amend the agreements. We did not have to match. So therefore, we were able to spend down on the grant and leave the fund balance in stormwater. So that was a great thing. So that's a before picture, and this is a beautiful after picture. We have so many pictures, but I just had to, choose one. I hope I did Nasir justice. So that is completed. We have the state did come down and do their final inspection. Everything is copacetic. We are now in the process of doing our reimbursement because we want our money back. So this, and that was housed in of course, the engineering department. If the presentation does not provide the breakdown, I will provide that to the commission through the city manager, all of the projects, and you will have the project descriptions.
Is there a Canal Bank stabilization in process now?
We are in procurement, I believe, for canals 5 and 8, and I'll let Mr. Nasir speak on that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Nazir.
Good afternoon, Honorable Mayor, City Commission, Acting City Manager, Deputy City Clerk, and audience. Canal 5, that is already in procurement, and Canal 8 is also on procurement. Canal 5, we had to extend the deadline because of the RFI that we received from the bidders, potential bidders, I should say. Location of Canal 5, that is in North Gate, and Canal 8 is in East Gate. These are the two projects concurrently in the procurement process right now.
Thank you, Mr. DeSier.
Yeah.
Okay. Our next completed project, and I'm so happy about this one, Willie Webb Park. We did have a state grant, the FERDAP grant, which is the Florida Recreational Development Assistance Program. So we did some improvements at Willie Webb, and that's a beautiful sign, dedicating that we had funding available from the FERDAP program. There is some work still going on. We did it in a phase because we wanted to get the grant elements done. We improved the pavilion, the basketball court. We did some fencing, some landscaping. And we did it in time for summer camp, which was good. So thank you to the hardworking staff, Mr. Ron and his team, and procurement for getting it done, because as I said, I don't give back money. Major facilities upgrade. We have been doing this in phases. Last year we did City Hall, or the first year we did City Hall. The second year we did, what was that, Ron? The roof. Development services. This year we did the Alzheimer building, multipurpose, and Willie Webb. So Willie Webb really got some love because it needed it, okay? So this is a picture of the roof at the multipurpose. Oh, I'm sorry. The first one is Alzheimer, the multipurpose, and then we have a picture of the roof at Willie Webb. And Willie Webb has two buildings, the gym and the main building. So this was general fund funded. So we did, but we did have that money in phases, as I said, starting from 2022, 23, 24.
Madam Mayor.
Commissioner Thomas.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Ms. Heidi, no, not discrediting, but this roof is completed, the Alzheimer's roof replacement? Is this the replacement we're looking at?
Through you, Madam Mayor, yes. That is yes. And I can confirm that, yes. Does it?
Commissioner Thomas.
No. I'm not thank you.
So that project is completed, and as I said, we will move into the next phase in fiscal 26. A really big project, and Mr. Ron, I give him kudos for this and I'll let him speak on this, Northwest 49th Avenue drainage. This was another FDP grant for Florida Resilience that we got. And we did this. This is phase one, because that grant was $3.5 million. So we've used about $1.4 million of that grant. And Mr. Nasir will continue with phase two in fiscal 26. And I'll give Ron just a moment Mr. Desbrins, a moment to really speak on this, because I know this one is near and dear to his heart.
Thank you. Mr. Ron.
Thank you, Ms. Heidi. Good evening, Madam Mayor, Commissioner, Madam ACM, Madam Clerk, and the audience. For the record, my name is Ron Desbruns, Public Works Director. Yes, like Mrs. Brock just stated, Madam Mayor, Northwest 49th Avenue has been a problem. It was a problem, not just aesthetically, because that's the southern entrance where we have the boundary between the city of Lauderdale Lakes and the city of Lauderdale. The road was in bad shape. It's been in bad shape. And also, any small storm event, we experience flooding. So most of our resources in terms of pumps, now that we are in rainy season, every time it rains, I was nervous, because that's where we would have most of our resources allocated The flooding used to be really, really bad. And the roadway, we used to get complaints not just from residents of the city of Lauderdale Lakes, but also from residents from Lauderdale. We have commissioners from Lauderdale calling and complaining about it. But we did not want to just fix the roadway because the main problem was associated with poor drainage. So that's why we come up with this project to not just fix the road, but fix the drainage problem first, and then fix the road. So we completed this project. In the last couple of months, we've been having some heavy rain, and I was able to peacefully sleep, Madam Mayor, because we haven't had any issue with flooding. The project is working as it should work. It's currently completed, I would say. We just finished the punch list. Now we're gonna go with the final inspection. Hopefully the state can come down and do their final inspection so we can close out this project. And I'm getting a lot of calls from residents, both from the city of Lauderdale Lakes and Lauderdale, thanking the city commission for finally fixing the roadway, because we were getting the same way we were getting complaint before the project. Now they are reaching out to say thank you, and I just wanted to relay that message to the commission.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ron. You know, just like how when we went out there to break ground, you know, we need to go back and take a picture and show a completion, because it is a much-needed difference, you know, when you ride before and when you ride now. So I really think we need to do a completed picture there with all those that were involved with the initial.
To Madam Mayor,
Mr. Ron.
Madam Mission has been planning that, and also we're coordinating with the state so they can come down so we can have that done.
Excellent,
Yes.
thank you.
Mr. Ron, I would like to thank you and your team for that, because I can remember when we met with representatives from the city of Lauderdale, and then when we broke ground, and there are residents from the city of Lauderdale who were approaching me at church, wanting to know when we were going to take care of it. So I want to thank you and your team. I'm looking forward to the final inspection and the final approval.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you so much. Ms. Heidi.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, for that indulgence, because he worked very hard. So we really did some heavy lifting or some heavy projects. So those are the ones that have been completed as of July. We do have some projects that are almost there, but we didn't want to put it on this list just yet. So right now, projects in progress or construction. Of course, a couple weeks ago, you did approve the elevator upgrade, so we hope to get that completed. Hopefully by January. They are in the process of getting, what is the word? Getting the contracts on board, of mobilizing, that's what I was trying to say. So that is in progress.
I have a question about elevators, Ms. Heidi, please.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm not sure whether it's in the purview of this. The elevator at the ECC is very slow, and it's sort of frightening at times. Is that within our purview?
Well, as far as I know, we do not own that elevator, that building, so we maintain it, but I'm not sure, Mr. Ron can probably speak as to if we can reach out to the county, because they own that building, and see if there's something that we can maybe coordinate. Because I know it is slow. You go up the steps faster than the elevator.
Mr. Ron?
Yes, protocol establishment. Yes, we, like Mrs. Brock stated, we do not own that elevator, but we do maintain it, and I can definitely look into that. But it's not the same as the two that we are upgrading, because it's after 2000. We don't have to do the extensive upgrade that's required for those two elevators. But I'll look into that, Madam Mayor.
Okay, I would appreciate it. Thank you. Ms. Heidi?
All right, so moving on to our other projects, we are working with our IT department to upgrade the media equipment at the ECC. We did upgrade last year we completed the multi-purpose building and Willie Webb, so we're now doing the ECC. So that is hopefully going to be completed pretty soon. We have the lightning detector. That one is also in progress. We're waiting for some contracts, I believe, for that. So hopefully we can get that done. I did speak to Mr. Sudin, and he said that should be completed by September. So we can take that one off the list. The playground replacement at Otis Gray, that is also in progress. We have an ongoing security camera upgrade program. I did speak with Captain Phillips after the last commission meeting, and he said he really wanted to get some cameras at the park. So we are going to schedule a meeting with him. Unfortunately, he's on vacation right now, and a well-deserved vacation. So when he comes back, we can talk about that. We have our citywide HVAC replacements. That's another ongoing, so you'll see that yearly. We have a replacement plan for our ACs, and we constantly put money in the budget for that. Right-of-way ADA and sidewalk assessment. I know, Madam Mayor, this is something that you asked about previously. This is for our sidewalks. We are really doing, we have done an assessment of the sidewalks and where they're non-compliant ADA. Or ADA non-compliance, and we are going to move into the next phase of actually doing the repair of those, or bringing those portions into compliance in fiscal '26 through the Public Works Department. Citywide irrigation system, that's another Public Works. When I say Public Works, I mean Mr. Desbruns, because he is serving as our multi-purpose project manager. So we had in the last budget approved a project manager because we really needed a project manager to move these projects. And I'm happy to say, well, they're not on board, but we have made moves to make an offer to someone, so hopefully that person can come on board, because the CIP projects really need to get moving, and we, because of our capacity, that's why you see a lot of these projects still on the books. But once we get that project manager, hopefully we can, move along, because, Mr. Desbruns, he is still the Public Works Director, but he is serving as the project manager for a lot of the projects, and along with Mr. Nasir. And the geothermal pool heater, that is, waiting for a contract to be completed, and we should have that done by the end of September.
Ms. Heidi, the geothermal pool heater was approved some time ago. Why is it taking so long?
To give you, once again, I have Mr. Desbruns, but to give you a layman's term, I believe that there were specific criteria that needed to happen with the underground system, because it's not just a regular heater. So they needed specific wiring and stuff like that to actually install this heater, but I'll let Mr. Desbruns maybe speak on that.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan.
Thank you, Mrs. Bork. Yes, Madam Mayor, the contractor that is installing the pool heater, there was some delay in terms of acquiring material and also their own timeline, which pushed it to that way. But last week, I believe 2 weeks ago, we met with the contractor. It's like a pre-construction meeting. Everything that needs to be in line is in line right now, so they're ready to go. We coordinated that, I think, last week with the contractor on site. So the next step is to actually, I think the drill subcontractor will start first with the wells. And then from there, it will be non-stop up to completion.
Projected completion?
I'm sorry?
Projected completion date?
Like Mrs. Brock said, this is September, but we...
September 2025?
Yeah, but I'm sure it will be done probably before that, yeah.
All right, thank you, Mr. Ryan. Ms. Heidi.
Thank you. So the next slide, we have our projects that, so mind you, even though we don't see the projects maybe moving in front, there's work going on behind the scenes, because they have to go through the planning stage, the design stage, the procurement. So these projects that are in planning and design currently, of course, we have our Fire Station 37, which Mr. Ron is also the project manager of. Otis Gray Park improvements, and I want to say about Otis Gray, we do have a grant. It's a recreational trails program grant of $400,000. We will be coming to commission to do an extension of that grant agreement, simply because we had to do an environmental assessment, and that process took over 8 months. It was a very arduous process, and this is through the National Environment Protection Act, so it had to be done in order for us to get a notice to proceed. Additionally, we did have some turnovers from the FDP. Right now, we're on like our third grant manager. So they have, once we reached out for an extension, they're like, yes, we are giving administrative extensions through December off the top, because we know that they are also behind. So but we did get the notice to proceed because we had all of our documents already submitted. So we have the notice to proceed. I've spoken to Mr. Priperwala, and we are going to get the team together to get the scope and get this into procurement so that we can have a contract awarded, hopefully we have to get something done by December or before, so we can start the construction of the park. And this would be like for the improvement of the trail and some exercise equipment, but at Otis Gray Park. So that is coming. So that's in the planning and design, and hopefully it will move into procurement. Northgate Park improvements. Since we have completed Willie Webb, which is, I'm sorry.
Commissioner Thomas.
Thank you very much. Ms. Heidi?
Yes.
I see Mr. Ron was looking at me because I think he knew what I was going to ask concerning that little preserve area at Otis Gray Park. Is there anything that can be done with that? Any grants to upgrade? I know you've cleared the bushes a little bit, but.
Okay, not at Cypress Preserve, but at Otis Gray, correct?
Yes.
Well, we can definitely still, we're searching. We have a grant consultant that we work with, and I'm just trying to see what is out there, so we can definitely see if there is something that we can find for. But I know that's probably more maintenance, but I'm not sure. But we'll see what we can do. Because if we want to try to improve, maybe extend the trail, we'll have to clear that area. Yeah. I'm sorry, through you, Madam Mayor.
No. Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yeah, I think even extension, some benches over there, just something to have the trail be extended. I think it would be a nice touch in that area there.
Yes, through you, Madam Mayor, because when we went out there, the park is used a lot. The trail is used, and it's not just used by Lauderdale Lakes residents. I must say, Lauderdale residents are there, and they do walk that trail a lot. So we really want to make some improvements. We do have a small FERDAP grant, which we had a FERDAP grant for the Willie Webb. We have another grant for Northgate. This is just $50,000, and Northgate doesn't need as much love as the other parks, but we will do some benches and improve the pavilion out there. So we want to get that done as soon as possible. We have gotten the notice to proceed, so we will move forward with that. In addition to the geothermal heater at the pool, we do have an overall pool facilities upgrade, and that's in planning. So once that heater is completed, then we can move into just improving the overall pool. Because I know that's our only aquatic center, so we really want to keep it upkept.
Ms. Heidi, does that overall improvement for the pool include equipment and supplies?
Equipment and
structural.
We can actually do whatever we want to do. This is because this one is for it's general fund dollars. So I'm not sure what's included in the actual scope of work at this time. I can definitely bring that back to you. But we will provide the information in the overall CIP packet. So, but I know that Mr. Sudin was working with that. I'm not sure if Mr. Disbrun is familiar, but Mr. Sudin was more involved in this actual project. We have the Alzheimer's Center improvements, that's in planning, and I know Ms. Erica will be happy once this is completed. We do have that grant from Florida Blue, $200,000, along with a small $30,000 from ARPA, and we want to get that, so that's in planning right now, and hopefully we can get that completed as soon as possible. The major roadway landscape improvements, that's Mr. Disbrun's project. We're trying to work I think we had design, it's almost 90% design. So I'll have him just give you an update.
Mr. Ron.
Yes, Madam Mayor. So a lot of those projects are currently either planning or design phase. So next fiscal year, I'm happy to say that we're going to see a lot of those projects under construction because the design, for the most part, are completed. We are reviewing plans. I know this particular project, the major landscape, for the major roadway landscape project, we are planning to workshop it so we can show the City Commission what exactly we are doing. I don't want to get ahead of Mrs. Brock. Same thing for the fire station. We are at the stage where we're going to bring some alternative to the City Commission, at least to show you what we are doing, but moving forward. But definitely, a lot of those projects in that list will be under construction next year because design are completed or almost completed. So next year, there will be a lot of activities in the CIP, Madam Mayor.
Great, glad to hear that. Thank you. Ms. Heidi.
So so the citywide bridge front replacement and of course citywide traffic calming is in this list as well. Projects in procurement, and I know this is why Mr. Piparwala is requesting an additional person because we have a lot of projects. As they move from design and planning, they're going to move into procurement. So we're going to need that help. So as Mr. Maksud spoke earlier, Canal 5 and 8 are currently in procurement. So we hope, I think on Friday we have an opening for one of them. I won't say which one, but yeah, we do have a bid opening, and Northwest 36 Terrace, we do have a pre-bid meeting for that, so that's moving along. We have as I spoke about Northwest 49th Avenue, that was phase 1 of the citywide drainage. Phase 2 involves because we have that project already designed, ready to go. The other projects, we need the geotechnical and surveying for that, and Mr. Nasir is over that project. So we are in procurement to get those done so that he can know which ones are most, to go to the next level. We have about 13 locations, I believe. And once we get that geotechnical and survey done, he can kind of prioritize which ones we go to next.
Madam Mayor,
Mr. Thomas.
I guess this would be directed to Mr. Nasir. Is that the locations like that people had called in on where the heavy drainage was in terms of rain and all of that? Is that what we're looking at?
Yes. Good evening, Honorable Mayor, City Commission, and audience. Yes, you're right. I made presentation on those locations, if you can remember, the same locations, 15 locations total. This is the second time we advertised for geotechnical and surveying services. First time, the consultant was asking around $5.4 million. That is too expensive, and that is for the entire city. So we actually scoped down to 15 road, and we made presentation. And I know you have some priorities to include all of them.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Ms. Fox.
No, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Nasir. Ms. Heidi.
So as I said, we have listened, we have your priorities at heart. So we do have the Public Works Fuel Bay upgrade. Mr. Desbrun spoke about, I think he spoke about that, but that is in procurement. Hopefully we can get that done by the end of this fiscal in time, for hopefully before any hurricanes. We're not calling them, but hopefully we can get that done before then. Our park pavilion replacements, we are improving our park pavilions because a lot of the pavilions are corroded and it's not, does not look aesthetically pleasing, so we are getting some of those replaced. And park facilities interior, we do rent our buildings, so we want to make sure that the kitchen, the facilities, indoor, that we do some upgrades there. So we're doing some upgrades to all of the facilities on the interior. And so our upcoming projects, we do have our community center. I do want to caution, Madam Mayor and Commission, we do have some dollars, some ARPA lost revenue dollars in the community center. We do need to spend those dollars by December 2026. So just food for thought, we do have other projects that may need that funding. So if we can maybe reallocate that funding as the need arises within the next fiscal into another project, that we can spend that money down, and then we can go back to the other sources. So $4 million is allocated in the community center right now. We do need to spend that money.
By 2026.
Yes, ma'am, by December. This is one we have to spend by December 2026. So I know there will be some projects that are coming up. I don't want to speak, out of turn, but we will have some projects that we could probably use that funding.
Ms. Heidi, is there a list available of examples of how this money can be spent down?
Well, luckily, this is ARPA lost revenue, so we can spend
do what
it.
we want.
Yes, this is in the general fund.
Okay.
Yes.
Great.
As I said, we do have a little piece in the Alzheimer improvement, about $30,000. We'll spend that. Drain pipe lining and repair, that's stormwater. That's under Public Works. Canal water quality, that's the aerators and agitators to improve the water quality. Facilities, interior renovation, bathroom renovations at the parks. And of course, we do have our future City Hall complex. So that is definitely one that we want to look at as the time comes. And lastly, our surtax projects. We have Northwest 50th Avenue, planning is completed, moving into design. Alcee Hastings Parkway improvement, design is at 90%. Northwest 36 Terrace, as I said, that's in procurement, is advertised for bid. And the citywide sidewalk repair and replacement. Unfortunately, that project is on hold right now due to the Broward County UAZ project. But we are moving along with the other three. So, Madam Mayor and Commission, that concludes the CIP update. As I said, most of these projects you will see in the proposed fiscal 26 through 29-30 CIP. Hopefully we can it's still early, we still have a couple of months. Hopefully we can get some of these off the list, the ones that are nearing completion. So you'll see a more updated list as by September.
Madam Mayor, could you just readdress again the ARPA dollars and reappropriating them to a different project? When would we have to do that? When will the commission, if it's the will of the commission to do that? When would?
Through you, Madam Mayor, I want to say, well, we would have, the monies are already allocated in our Treasury portal. So at this point, we have allocated all of our dollars. We do, if we have a project, for instance, I'm just throwing this out, maybe the fire station or the future City Hall. We would just need to make that decision sometime, maybe I'll say 3 months, to give us the time to really make the decision, make the preparations to, if we're gonna buy property or something, to really get that in play.
Thank you.
And of course, that would come to you as a resolution.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Ms. Heidi.
Okay, so that concludes the workshop, the presentation that we have. If there, as I said, if there are any questions that you have jotted down through Madam Acting City Manager, we can bring the information back. We will be working throughout until September. We will be sending you information for your directive. And if there's any questions that you have, please be sure to send them through the city manager, and we can address those. I have taken down notes from tonight as well, so we will start there and we can address any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Heidi, for a great presentation. We appreciate that. Ms. Library, I do have a question. If the city commission would like to increase funds for our AC program, our minor home repair program, what is that process?
That will be a recommendation, a consensus from the dais, and a recommendation to the acting city manager, and she will bring that forth before we finalize the budget for FY 2026.
And also our condominium mortgage program appears to be underutilized at this point in time. Are there any other options for those funds? The last time I checked, we weren't quite receiving applications the way that we thought we were.
Which program is that, Mayor?
The condominium mortgage assistance program. Yes, ma'am, Ms. Heidi.
Madam Mayor, if I may. So, yeah, that was one of the programs that we reallocated the broadband funding into. So we had a split with the minor home repair and the mortgage assistance. So those two programs, we do need to spend by September 30th, and those are in September 30th of 2026.
You need to say the year beside.
No, I wouldn't be this calm. No. So but that's not in the lost revenue category. That's in the regular ARPA. So that's why it's September. So if we want to move it into, say, for instance, canal stabilization, which is in that pot or that category, we can do that. If we wanted to move it into, if we saw the minor home repair has more traction, we can definitely move the funding there. So whatever programs we have, which is mostly just the canal stabilization, and those two programs within that ARPA pot, we can move them around. But the $4 million that's in lost revenue, we can do whatever, yeah.
For the condominium mortgage assistance program, since it is appears to be underutilized, and we were trying to assist condominium owners because we know that maintenance has increased, assessments have been levied for certain things that need to be done. Can those monies also be used to assist with assessments?
When I researched it at the time, Madam Mayor, because we just cannot pay, because we would be paying the condo association, it wasn't at that time eligible. I can do some more research and see if we can find some loophole, and I can definitely reach out to Treasury to see. But because we just can't pay the condo association, and there's no real work done. It's for, the special assessment, hopefully is to improve, for the improvement of the condos. So if there's no work that's gonna be done, we just can't put it in a pot.
Right, I understand. I think you made that comment before, someone else, but I just want to bring it back around again to make sure.
And I'll double check, because we do want to spend it. We also did give some money to the AC program last year. That was funded at $50,000, and we boosted another $50,000, so we can, put some money there as well.
Well, with being 84 degrees at 7 o'clock in the morning, you need an AC, and I'm sure we have a lot of our elderly and other residents who are in need of ACs or AC repairs.
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Poff?
No, Madam Mayor.
Ms. Liebert?
Well, this concludes our presentation for our workshop. As Ms. Brock stated, we have taken down the notes of what we need to bring back for you through this acting city manager, and any suggestions or improvement before we get to our first reading, please make sure you provide that to us, and we will incorporate it into our budget. And I thank you for the opportunity to present at the workshop. Thank you.
Ms. Liebert, thank you for such a detailed presentation, you and your team. Oh, you're even getting applause.
I'll take a bath.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Ms. Heidi, for your presentation. Very, very informative, and thank you for addressing the questions that we have, and your team.
And my team, thank you.
All right. Thank you. And?
Thank you also, finance team and the entire team. We went through a very thorough, vigorous process. We learned a lot throughout the process. Thank you for putting this budget together, and we'll just continue working through it through the entirety, the rest of the few months, so that we The end result is a balanced budget. And we'll address all of your concerns and questions, and we'll fine tune the job descriptions, of course, and the salaries to make sure that when we bring it back, it's definitely accurate and the salaries reflect the education and everything that's needed. Madam Mayor, Commissioner.
Thank you, Madam Acey.
Madam Mayor, before you hit that gavel, I just want to say, I know last year we had put prioritizing what would come first, second in terms of, these additional. Are we going to do that this year in terms of first, if, say, for instance, there's a particular area that we, from a department, that we are not wanting, so can we list that as well as to what's first, second, third?
Madam Acey.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Would you like that listed per department or overall? Per department, for instance, I see that HR has 2 positions, so you're wanting those ranked to see which is more important in the department.
Yes.
That is no problem. We'll make sure that we have that done for you, Madam Commissioner.
Thank you kindly.
You're quite welcome.
Ms. Foff.
No, Madam Mayor.
Thank you so much. Good evening.